Welcome to EPG Pathashala. My name is E. Poshadri, Assistant Professor, College of Food Science and Technology, Professor Jayashankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, Hyderabad. Today we are going to discuss about high pressure processing technology under the course of Advances in Food Science and Technology. So before going to in detail about this course, high pressure processing technology, and the objectives of this course is, and students should aware about latest trends in processing and preservation of the foods. This is high pressure processing technology is one of the modern technology where we use for the processing and preservation of the foods, and few companies are already using this technology in worldwide, and in India this is a latest technology. Only few companies are using this technology. It has some advantages than other conventional processing methods, and it is a non-thermal processing method, and the preservation of the nutrients or the minerals can be much higher than compared to the other conventional preservation or storage methods. So high pressure processing methodology, so for example in Japan they started using this high pressure processing technology for preservation of jams, juices, jellies and other fruit based products or vegetable based product for the preservation. And when we use a pressure of 450 Pascal a pressure, when we use, and we can store the food very well. So this is the minimum pressure requirement to preserve or to process any food is 450 Pascal. So people started using 450 and then they increased to higher pressure, high pressures also. So even this high pressure processing technology can also known as hydrostatic, higher hydrostatic pressure technology or ultra high pressure technology also. This process is also known as cold pasteurization method. Why? Because in general pasteurization method or conventional method, when we are doing pasteurization or sterilization, and we can see the heating up of the product, maybe a temperature 70 to 100 or 130, 140. Up to that. So in this high pressure processing technology, there is no change in temperature, only we are using the pressure to inactivate the microorganisms or to inactivate the enzymes or to inactivate the harmful components present in the food. So that's why here you don't see any heating or the temperature difference in the product after application of this high pressure processing technology. That's why we call it as a cold pasteurization techniques. So high pressure processing is a cold pasteurization technique which consists of subjecting a food previously packed in a flexible, water resistant and sealed packaging to high level of hydrostatic pressure up to 600 megapascal or 5922 atmosphere pressure for a few seconds to few minutes. So that means in order to have a better storage life or better preservation of the food material, so here we are subjecting to high pressure, and maybe you can take it to 600 megapascal pressure. So when you use this much of pressure, and here the other advantage of this method is, in conventional methods we are heating the product in some containers or some vessels or some tanks. We are heating, if it is a liquid food, if it is a liquid milk, we are heating in a tank or a juice or in a retort kind of thing. That means where you are before packing you are doing pasteurization or you are doing sterilization or you are cooling it. But in this case you can apply this high pressure processing technology even to the packed foods. So even it is best suited for the packed food. That means you first fill the packet or fill the food in the container or the packet and you seal it, then you put it in a high pressure processing device, then you apply the high pressure and that will inactivate the spores, then that will inactivate the vegetative cells of bacteria or a yeast or a fungus. That means after in general processing technology, what happens once you do pasteurization and you fill in some other environment, and there may be a cross contamination with the atmosphere or with the handling system. But here sealed product is sterilizing or sealed product is treating with high pressure. That means so the product will be open when it reaches to the consumer table only, not in the factory. So in other conventional method we are heating or cooling the product in other equipment, then we are filling. So the recontamination is less in this case. Here there is no recontamination, we can say, because we are using the sealed packing materials. And this, when you keep a product at this 600 megapascal pressure, what happens, for example, when you take a food and when you keep it in a 60-kilometer deep in the ocean, and what sort of effects you will find at that 60-kilometer depth in the ocean. And similarly, the same kind of effect will be there when you keep your food in at 600 megapascal pressure. So because of that, then it will inactivate the enzyme, vegetative cells of all sort of microorganisms. And sometimes even we can use this pressure above 4000 bar at a cold temperature of less 5 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius, or even at ambient temperature, inactivates the vegetative microorganism, bacteria, yeast, molds present in the food products, respecting all the organoleptic properties of food and giving high pressure processing products high sensory and nutritional quality. So here, in general conventional method, general thermal heat treatments method, what happens when you hold your product, when you expose your product for several minutes to several hours, what happens? There may be a loss of nutrients, there may be there may be a change in the sensorial characteristics of the product. So in this case, in the high pressure processing technology, that will not be there. So there will be a less effect on sensorial quality and a minimum effect on nutritional. That means it is advantageous over the conventional methods. And why? Because it is sealed material, and the nutrients are preserved, and also there is no change in the sensorial characteristics. And it also maintains the freshness throughout their life cycle, the complete life cycle of that product. The reasons for the death of the pathogens and altering microorganisms present in food is that high pressure modifies certain proteins and enzymes present especially in their cellular membranes. So bacteria contain some proteinaceous molecule and some enzymes in their cell membrane. So when you apply high pressure and it alters the molecules present in that enzymes or protein, then what happens? Then their function is stopped. Then it get inactivated. Then bacteria will die at that condition. So if bacteria can't survive or molds can't survive at that condition, then there further you don't find any multiplication of that. Then the arrest of microorganism happens in this high pressure processing technology. And you may think that that means here when you apply high pressure, it acts on enzymes and proteins. But actually what happens in high pressure processing technology, it will act on non-covalent bonds in the system, a microorganism system or a food system. It acts only on non-covalent bonds. Whereas these food proteins, food minerals, components and other vitamins and other food network system, food composition, most of them are covalent bonds. So it doesn't affect much on the covalent bonds. It affects only on the non-covalent bonds. So because of that, bacteria get inactivated or enzymes get inactivated when you apply high pressure on the food materials. So here in this picture, students, you can see the high pressure processing system, the diagram of operation of high pressure in a horizontal machine. Okay, how the product is flowing from one section to other section, and the product is exposed to high pressure of around 6000 megapascal. At that pressure, and the product, the organisms in the product get inactivated. So you can see the flow diagram of this product. And you can see in this picture the parts of this high pressure processing system. Here you will find a product outline, product inline, inlet line and enclosures, and the electrical cabinet and pressure intensifiers. Pressure needs to be supplied. In this picture you can see all the parts, main water tank and relief valves, intensifier. In this high pressure processing technology, it is more suitable where the water is more in the food. If more water is there in the food, and this technology can be applied very well. If water is less in the food, and this technology may not be suitable. If more water is present, then you can use this technology without any trouble. You can apply this high pressure on the food, and it will do the desired effects in the product. So in this, what happens in this high pressure processing technology, product loading and unloading will be in the same place. That means sometimes we may confuse with the packing materials, which was treated and which is not treated. Then that confusion may be there when you are loading or unloading of the product. So and to overcome that confusion, then scientists have designed a vessel for this high pressure vessel they have designed. So in that high pressure vessel, the product move from inlet to outlet, and then you can process it very well without any traceability problems. Here the traceability is a problem in this high pressure processing technology before developing this vessel. So now that the vessel has come, then the problem can be overcome with this. So and you can see a high pressure processing line of voltage at 420 in this, and you can see the equipment, how this high pressure processing equipment looks like. You can see in this picture. And this another one, the loading of this product in high pressure processing system. You can see in this picture, loading and unloading, and product is loading from left side and right side. You have a small opening and where the product is coming. And when you see, the high pressure processing is the most useful performed after the product has been introduced into its final packaging. So I already said, when we use a packed food, when we introduce a packed food into the machine, and there is absolutely no cross contamination, no reopening or no repacking or no human handling, then that avoids that eliminates the cross contamination of the foods. So that is the more advantageous thing with this technology. And this also makes high pressure processing one of the safest processing possibilities available to the industry, as we avoid the risk of any possible posterior cross contamination. And also because it is a post-packaging intervention, it enables us to subtract from the product added preservatives or artificial ingredients. So we are adding preservatives and other artificial ingredients in the food in general conventional methods. When you use high pressure processing methodology, and you can avoid, you no need to add certain preservatives, certain additives in your food. So that means you can label your product free from the additives. Your food is free from the chemical substances. So that means the marketability can also be increased when you use high pressure processing. And few companies nowadays, and they are not claiming that they use high pressure processing, but they are claiming that their food is free from the additives. So that means that company is using this high pressure processing technology. And this is the secret behind many minimally processed, all natural, no preservatives food product that can be found in the market nowadays, and one of the main drivers that is making high pressure the fastest growing non-thermal processing technology. The range of food products, I already said in starting of this lecture, in Japan is already using this technology for the preservation or processing of fruit juices, or for processing of few jam products, or some other liquid foods. So same technology can be applied a wide variety of even meat products, fish products, seafood items, dairy products, juices, and fruits and vegetable products. By contrast, products with lower water content such as flour, dry spices, or cakes cannot be processed successfully under pressure processing. So I already said, when the water content is less in a food, so that food is not suitable to process under high pressure processing technology, because here the water creates a pressure inside, and water is the medium. Because of that, the pressure is circulated in the food uniformly, and it makes the product free from the microorganisms or enzymatic action. Okay, so that's why water is an indispensable tool through which to transmit the biophysical effects of high pressure to biocomponents. So water is an indispensable. So without water, then application of high pressure processing is not good. The biggest limitation faced by this high pressure processing is so far is the need for refrigerated conditions for cold pasteurized product storage. That means in conventional processed product or a thermally processed food, you can keep in your shelves, or you can keep in a supermarket shelves for more than 6 months or 3 months or 1 month, depending on the product. But in this case, the product which is treated under high pressure processing, and that product need to be cooled, that product need to be refrigerated, because when you don't refrigerate it, then you won't get the desired shelf life or desired storage life of the product. So this is one of the biggest limitation of high pressure processing, means whatever the product produced by using high pressure processing, it needs to be refrigerated. So that means again keeping refrigeration means it is again cost issue. That means the cost of the product will be increases. So that the cold chain is required for that particular product. So general conventional method, we don't require that. With the exception of few of which a low pH or a dried rice or a frozen seafood after processing, HPP is shelf stable. And a few products like a dried rice, frozen seafood, these are the products which are which need not to keep under refrigerated conditions after using high pressure processing. And few companies in Japan, they are using kiwi jams by a company called Midiya is the company. They launched their strawberry, apple and kiwi jams in the market by using high pressure technologies. Professor Rikumaru Hayashi from Kyoto University in Japan, who has developed this high pressure processing technology for application of number of food equipment, and they are also designing the equipments to sell to other manufacturers. Western countries are nowadays they are using this high pressure processing. The first industrial application of high pressure processing was started in the year of 1995 by a company called Alti in France, and they used this high pressure processing for the avocado products to produce avocado puree. They used this technology, high pressure processing technology, for the production of avocado puree. So these equipments, the companies which are where you will get these equipments, these high pressure processing equipments, mostly in North America, Canada, Mexico and USA, but also in Europe countries like Spain, Italy, Netherlands, Belgium, Greece, Portugal, France, UK, Czech Republic and Germany. They are selling in Asia, mostly Japan, but also China and Korea. In South America, these countries are manufacturing this equipment. They are selling to other parts of the world. And by the end, one statistics found that by the end of 2008, more than 125 industries are using this high pressure processing machineries for producing almost 80% of the food in the world. The main reason for the high pressure processing peak in use by the food industry over the last decade is the great improvement in equipment available. The improvement means in terms of the pressure vessel. We require a vessel, that is separate vessel where you loading and unloading can be done in a different phases. When you look at the technological advances in this high pressure processing, the development of newly designed horizontal high pressure vessel. The high pressure vessel is one of the two elements along with the high pressure intensifier that have a greater technical complexity, and it is the most costly part of the machine. So this high pressure high pressure vessel, intensifying vessel, is the costly accessory of that high pressure processing. And two improvements in this essential part of the machine are the main reasons for its advancements. One is the horizontal design, wire winding, pre-compression. These are the two major improvements made in the equipment. One is the horizontal design of the vessel, and second one is wire winding pre-compression. And in the year 2000, NC Hyperbaric, world leading provider of technology in the food sector, developed the first horizontal vessel especially designed for the food industry. And after developing this horizontal vessel, and there is an improved traceability of the process, improved traceability of the product. So there is no mixing of what you call processed or processed and raw foods. And by contrast, in vertical equipment, loading and unloading takes place from the same end, which increase the risk of confusion between the processed product and the product to be processed in case of vertical. And after the horizontal designing of horizontal equipment, that problem has overcome. And in installation, so nowadays installation means the installation of horizontal machine is easier, more practical and much less costly than that of vertical one. The small height 2.5 meter of the horizontal equipment allows the transport through the standard doors of any factory. No crane is required to stand the vessel up inside the factory. If it is a vertical one, and we have to lift that with the help of crane, and we can erect that equipment. If it is horizontal one, a height of 2.5 meters is enough. So we don't require any special crane system to erect that machine in the factory. And also the weight of the equipment, the weight, for example, the capacity of 255 liters high processing pressure equipment, the weight is around 20 tons, whereas 300 liters machine, the weight is around 60 tons. So in terms of weight, then this is a very, it has a huge weight when compared to other conventional heating systems. And ergonomically, this loading and unloading motion is easy in horizontal machines, whereas in vertical machine there may be a confusion. This machine now can work in a continuous way, as an unprocessed batch automatically enters the vessel while the processed products are automatically existing through the opposite side. The operator can put the next batch onto the loading line, and when a cycle is finished, the next cycle starts automatically. This is very important for operational efficiency, as the operator does not need to waste time unloading one batch with crane before being able to enter the next one. Another recent successful development has been the installation of integrated conveyors for returning empty carriers back to the loading point. So some modifications are made in the machine. One is loading and unloading. So automatic loading and unloading brought into the machine. Then because of that, then the operator need not to wait for the loading and unloading of the product. And other, we discussed earlier, there are two advantages provided in the horizontal design. One is wire winding technology for vessel manufacturing and intensifiers. So because of that, we will achieve all the required pressure, and then no confusion, and horizontally we can erect, and it also provides to be a key guaranteeing a long life for this component, a reduction in material fatigue, lighter weight, and an outstanding safety improvement. Nowadays, we have high pressure intensifiers includes many new developments in the parts of utmost importance, such as high pressure seals, check valves, high pressure bodies. So this also is very important, because if when you are applying high pressure, there may be a leak. So that leak need to be prevented by using check valves, high pressure bodies. And endurance of these components is being constantly improved through the redesign and the study of material. This is critical point for the reliability and productivity of high pressure processing equipment, and one of the biggest reason for the cost reduction in the process. And when you see the complete picture of this high pressure processing, when we conclude this high pressure processing is a very important technology, and here it is a cold pasteurization. There is no heating, and we can preserve the nutrients and without affecting the sensorial or the taste characteristics of the product. And a pressure ranging from 450 pascal to up to 6000 megapascal we can apply for different foods, and already successfully this technology has applied for the processing of fruits, juices, vegetables, strawberry, other fruit and vegetable products, and few meat products and few seafood products also treated with high pressure processing, and then it worked very well. And it only damages the what you call non-covalent bonds in the microorganism, protein or enzymes of that, and it doesn't affect on the covalent bonds of the food composites. And one of the disadvantages of this technology is, and the food which we treated under high pressure processing need to be kept under refrigerated condition, whereas the food treated under non-conventional method need not to keep under refrigerated condition. It can be shelf-stable product, and few technologies has come, and if in few products, so we no need to keep the products under refrigerated condition, but few need to be keep in the refrigerated condition. That is the one of the limitation of it. And the other limitation of this high pressure processing is, and always water should be a medium in the product. When water is there in sufficient quantity, then it can be applied very well. When water is less in the product, and you cannot use this technology where water content is less. So these are the disadvantages of this, and the cost point of view, and intensifiers and these vessels costly, and huge weight of this equipment need to be, for example, just a 50 liters is around 60 tons weight of that product. So that means the material weight is more in this case. And if it is a vertical one, there may be a cross contamination, or what you call traceability is an issue. If it is an horizontal one, there is no issue. But certainly this technology has certain advantages over conventional, especially it avoids recontamination, the cross contamination. Again, it is useful for the packed foods. So especially packed foods, for treating of packed foods, it will be the best technology, I can say. So for further any queries, or you refer the e-text, or you go through the different international journals through sciencedirect.com, and thank you.